Hola mi gente, and welcome back to the We Are Investing channel, a channel that is dedicated in investing and personal finance. On today's video, we are going to be doing a stock update on CCIV, which could potentially, probably, most likely merge with Lucid Motors. And that is a huge deal because of this Lucid Air sedan. It is top notch. Some of the best technology in the EV sector, in a young sector, and they could really grow. We are talking about a sedan that has a very efficient battery. That is why the range on this Lucid Air is so good. And also it is quick, it is fast. It runs a quarter mile in under 10 seconds. That is absolutely crazy. As you can see here, it clocked in at 9.9 seconds. Now Tesla has their Plaid, which is also coming out. That is very fast as well. But this Lucid Air came out first, and I think we're just going to continue to see these numbers continue to improve for these electric vehicles, and it just goes to show how powerful the Lucid Air really is. This is another drag race where it came in at 9.24 seconds, extremely fast, incredibly fast. I mean, if we take a look at Wikipedia for the fastest quarter mile, I don't think the Lucid Air is going to be on this list because it's probably not updated. But we can see that number one is the Bugatti at 9.4 seconds, a McLaren P1 at 9.8 seconds, a McLaren 720S at 9.9 seconds, and a McLaren Senna at 10.1 seconds. This thing clocked in at 9.9 seconds, meaning it's as quick as a McLaren and in some cases a Bugatti. Just imagine that. This car is so freaking quick, and it is a luxurious, and it gets great range. All of those combined, I think people are going to want to buy the Lucid Air. And that is why I want to be invested in this company long term. I really hope that CCIV does merge with Lucid Air. Now guys, before we proceed any further into this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button, ringing that bell, and smashing that like button. And also be aware that there is a Patreon for this channel where you get to follow the portfolio in real time. Whenever I open or close a position, I post on the Patreon. You also get access to a Discord server. This is the Discord server. And there's even a Lucid channel where we talk Lucid on a daily. For instance, today we got news on this channel. We can see that someone placed a huge order for CCIV. This is a large print. We're talking 813,000 shares. That accounts for a total purchase of close to 42 million US dollars, a massive print size for CCIV. Maybe they think the merger is going to happen relatively soon, but $51.11 might actually be a good price for CCIV, and we're going to talk about that later in this video. Now this week we also got more news from a reputable source. Reuters said people close to the negotiations expected the deal to be announced soon. Lucid's market cap would start at about $12 billion, which is less than the original stated $15 billion. $3 billion less in market cap, which is great news for investors. The lower the market cap in this deal, the higher the share price will ultimately be. Because at the end of the day, whatever valuation you think Lucid deserves, whether it's $100 billion close to Neil's market cap, even higher than $100 billion, or let's say it's around $60 to $75 billion. The less the valuation is at the beginning, the higher the share price needs to be to get to the target valuation on where you think Lucid Motors should really be at as a publicly traded company. In my personal opinion, I think that the market cap should be very close to Neil at close to 90 to 100 billion US dollars. So that means that there is still upside from the current share price. And I do think that this merger is going to happen. I am hopeful that it does. And I do think that there is a scenario here where we reach over $100 a share. But we're going to settle back down, in my personal opinion, to a market cap of close to 90 to 100 billion dollars. And that really depends on what the initial valuation of the deal is. If it is at $12 billion, that means that this stock would have to 8 times in value to get close to $100 billion in market cap. So that means that the share price would need to be around $80. And I think we can exceed that. But realistically, what I think would happen is that some of that FOMO will die down and we're going to settle down at a market cap that is close to $100 billion, but that is my personal opinion here. Now, we also had a change in tone from CNBC, from David Faber, who has been very negative, or let me just say pessimistic about this deal. He wants people to calm down. However, people are not calming down. People are buying CCIV left and right. But he did change his tone, and I think that this really has lots of value here. David Faber changing his tone on CCIV makes me believe that this deal is going to happen even more. Let's watch the clip.
Of course, that stock, I mean, take a look. It's, this is reflective. We talk about GameStop a lot, but take a look, go back on CCIV a bit as well. You may recall, guys, I think it's a couple of months ago when I had the audacity to suggest, hey, sometimes, you don't get to the finish line on a deal. This, of course, has been the speculation since Bloomberg first reported they were in talks to merge with Lucid, to Lucid merge into this SPAC, to obviously go public. Since then, we've talked to the largest shareholder, Yasser Al-Rumayyan, who runs the PIF of Saudi Arabia. We've talked to Rawlinson, the CEO of Lucid. One person we haven't talked to is Michael Klein, of course, the man who runs Churchill. And he hasn't returned any of my calls lately or texts. That's okay. Yesterday, though, Reuters did report, and I'd heard this as well, that, essentially, people were being told, get ready to be wall crossed. What that means is it's those investors who are considering the PIPE, the private investment in public equity that goes along so often with when these deals are announced. They should get ready to cross the wall, essentially, to start getting material non-public information, which obviously they can't share, or at least information that they can't share, although it always gets leaked almost right away. Be very curious to see what this all looks like. Where do they really value Lucid? Reuters said maybe as low as maybe $12 billion. Original reports in Bloomberg, I think it had 15. I just don't know. And then, Mike, these pipes, you come in at 10.
Yeah.
The SPAC's trading at 54. So Michael Klein is right now in a position to potentially deliver enormous paper profits to those investors who are willing to come in the pipe. Now, again, percentages, we don't know what they're going to buy. We don't know a lot here, projections, but there's a lockup after the deal is announced, after the deal closes, I should say. Nonetheless, he's in a position to deliver a lot of potential money to these pipe investors, given this incredible move up in Churchill on the prospect of it eventually merging with Lucid.
It is really amazing.
A few things to touch on here that I want to explain to you guys is, first, the PIPE, the private investment in public equity. He is right. Michael Klein is able to offer a great opportunity to PIPE investors to get into this stock at $10 a share and be able to turn that money into huge profits. I think that this stock is going to be well above $10 after the merger is complete and after their lockup is done. So that is something that you guys need to understand moving forward as a long-term investment, as a long-term investor in Lucid Motors. When these shares are no longer locked up, what's going to happen? Are these PIPE investors going to sell and lock in their profits? And is there going to be a lot of downside pressure on Lucid Motors stock? We need to keep an eye out to see how big the PIPE is. Now, in the trust for Churchill Capital, CCIV, I think we're at $1.7 billion. I don't know what kind of money is going to be needed to get to this $12 billion valuation, or potentially even higher. These are all details that we still do not know, but they are important details. And when the valuation, when the deal is announced, these are things that we need to consider. However, the story is still tremendously good for CCIV. Now, I want to take a look at the charts, and I want to point to something that could help you make money with this stock as well. Now, today the stock did start to sell off a little bit, right? When we opened up the day, we were trading at close to $60, around $60 a share. We ended the day at $52.94. We hit a low of $50.32. We dropped 8.8%. Now, we zoom out, right, to the, that's too far. Zoom out to the 20-day, 1-hour chart. Or let's just do the 10-day. The 10-day, 30-minute chart. We can see here that we do have good support at around $50 a share. If the stock hits around $50 a share, it's a great trading opportunity to buy some shares, because I don't think we're going to drop below that. But let's play devil's advocate, right? We had news on February 16th that drove the share price up tremendously. They are still rumors, right? But let's say we follow a trading rule and we take a look at the Fibonacci retracement and see where 50% puts us at from those massive gains. So if we do that, we're going to see that the price pretty much falls in line with the support, which is very good as well. 50% off of this Fibonacci retracement is at $51.22. We are below, or I shouldn't say that, we are around that number right now. So $50 I think is a strong support for CCIV, unless we get news that the deal is in jeopardy or anything like that. This will break through that support and we will be heading down fast. So with that being said, there is still risk here. And one way that you can minimize your risk, let's say you didn't get into CCIV, but you would like to, however, you don't like the risk right now, there is a way to get into this stock and minimize risk. However, you need to have a decent amount of capital to do so. If you take a look at the options right now, they are trading at a very high premium. For instance, if we look at the March 19th, 2021 options, we can see that the call options for $95 strike price are trading at $6.8 in premium, $6.80 in premium, meaning that if you sold a cover call at $95, you would get $680 in your pocket to sell that covered call, and you wouldn't have to get rid of the shares unless the stock hit $95 by March 19th, 2021, which also provides great upside for you, because if you like the stock but you don't want to get in without hedging your bet a little bit, selling a covered call would be a great strategy. But with that being said, you have to be able to buy 100 shares at $52.94 or whatever the price is when you buy your shares. And that's going to be over $5,000. But you could hedge your bet a little bit. For instance, the $70 strike is $10 in premium, meaning that you would get $1,000 in your pocket up front for selling these covered calls. But you would have to hold on to the stock to 19th of March, or you could potentially lose even more money because you would have to buy the stock back to be able to sell it to the person who bought the call if the stock is above $75. However, if things do go wrong and we find out that the deal is not going to happen, you can still sell your shares, because the likelihood of this stock going back to $75 with no deal is very small, and I think it's okay to sell. However, I'm not a financial advisor and I'm not telling you what to do. So with that being said, I definitely think that there is a strategy here to get into CCIV with hedging your bet a little bit, protecting yourself, while also potentially being able to get into a very good investment. So those are my thoughts. Now, I'm not doing this strategy because I got into CCIV early on. I posted to the Patreon on January 11th, 2021, Lucid Air under $13 a share potentially? Yes, please. And we bought shares under $13 for CCIV Lucid Motors. And right now on that position, we are up over 200%. We are up 248.71% for more than $45,000 in gains. This stock has really taken off, and since we got in early on, it's been a great opportunity, a great investment, and our risk is exceptionally low right now. So we're not touching, we're not adding, we're not doing anything else to our position. We build it up enough that if this merger does happen, it's going to be a good long-term investment. And after the merger happens, we can discuss things again where we can add to our long-term position. But given the risk right now, with the deal not happening, I'm not going to be buying or adding to this position. However, those covered call strategy might be a way to get into the stock today, considering the current share price and the risk if things do not go right with the merger. But with all that being said, guys, that wraps it up for this video. If you like this content and the videos that I am providing, please consider hitting that subscribe button, ringing that bell, and smashing that like button. Please be aware that there is a Patreon for this channel where you get access to the portfolio in real time. Whenever I open or close a position, I post on the Patreon. You get to join a Discord server of over 400 members, and I also get early access to videos. I upload to the Patreon before I upload to YouTube. Now, with that being said, there's also links down below in the video description, a Facebook group, my Twitter page, which I'm starting to become active there as well. and promotional links to Webull, where you can get 2 free stocks worth up to $1,600. But you know the deal. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. And this is We Are Investing, and together we are invincible. See ya!